Hey, fellow female activists. How are you? I'm Cathy Pettis, your wellness coach. And for anyone new here, hi, hello, how are you? Please like, share. And today we are in our wellness playlist and we are under our pillar of sleep. Okay. And the title is Sleep Positions. Alrighty. So if you're new here, we always start our playlist here, wellness and our recommendations playlist, with what's called positive quotient repetitions. Positive quotient repetitions, PQ reps. So wherever you're at, just as long as you feel safe, if you preferably if you can be quiet in a quiet space. And if you can, please close your eyes. But again, if you're not in a place where you can just like chill, pay attention to whatever you're doing. Okay, so I am going to close my eyes. And wherever you're at, even if you are driving, I want you to roll back your shoulders and then think about having a nice tall spine. Okay, regardless, even if you're laying down. What I want us to do is take two of your fingertips and start to rub them together with such intention that you can feel your fingertip ridges. Notice the sensations. No judging, just notice. Now, take your palms together and with that same intention, go ahead and rub all of your fingertips together. What sensations do you feel? Can you feel your fingerprints? Are you creating any friction or heat? Now go ahead and take your fingertips along the whole palm. And what do you notice if you're able? Do you feel those lines on your hands? Are you ticklish like me? Now, all I want you to do is concentrate and not so hard, but just notice your breath. We're not changing it. We're just noticing it. No judgment. What parts of your body are moving when you breathe? And if your eyes are closed, go ahead and blink them open and come back. Awesome. So if you were in it, let's say a fidgety type mood right before we started, hopefully you feel a difference. If you're already, pretty, chill, you may not notice much has changed. I would at least hope that you feel a little bit more uh, alert would be a good way, especially after the breath. Okay, we didn't change our breath, but we noticed it. Here's a funny and a fun fact. Your brain will listen to your lungs above all else, meaning that your brain is so entwined, okay, with your lungs, and your lungs obviously tell your nervous system when something's wrong, and your brain talks to your lungs, right? Um, the brain is connected to everything, right? All the systems connect to your brain. But the brain, above all else, will listen to your lungs. Think about that. Okay, so today's topic, again, our main pillar today is sleep, and we're talking about sleep positions. So I don't know if I've actually ever talked about this, funny enough, and I probably have. You would have to look back in my catalog there. But sleep positions do matter. And I'll just, spoiler alert, the best way to sleep, honestly, is on your back. Now, of course, if you are someone who has the preggers going on, okay, so if you are obviously pregnant, whomever you are, um, laying on your back is not going to be beneficial for you in most cases, and unfortunately, what's inside. But with that said, in general, right? The Chinese had it right. The ancient Chinese always laid right on futons, and they always were on their backs. And there's a reason for that. It is optimal, okay? And so when we're laying on our backs, and this, uh, again, if you practice yoga, you might know this already, right in the back of our head, whenever we lean it against something, okay? So it could be a wall, it could be the back of a chair, but usually, right, when we're laying down, we're on our back of our heads. That signals to our parasympathetic nervous system that, oh, we are calm and we are ready for sleep. Okay. So if you're ever in a meeting and you're trying to stay awake, do not put your head up against anything because you will start to get more sleepy. So, sleep positions, again, spoiler alert, I already said, the best way to sleep is on your back. And there's all kinds of scientific reasons for it. You can think of it as simply when you are, and again, beds, okay, whatever type you use, have now become very scientifically, right, uh, advanced. And so, funny enough, though, futons still one of the best ways to sleep. And no, I'm not, overly, trying to uplift, you know, the um, Chinese culture or anything. It's just that there's a lot of ancient wisdom in all these different old, you know, uh, cultures, whether it be Egyptian, whether it be, the Asians, Mesopotamian, like think of any ancient culture, there was a lot of wisdom in there, and it just somehow got tripped up when science decided. Well, I think when capitalism, basically took over. Anyway, I digress. So back to the sleep positions. Yes, on your back is optimal. And um, you can argue with me all you want, but science, it's there. Now, for someone like me, I am a side sleeper, meaning, now here's another fun fact, and I've talked about this at least. Um, when we're asleep, hopefully we get to sleep enough, but on average, people will actually switch their position, okay, during sleep, at least minimum, okay, but average 7 times. You can literally change your position 7 different times. And funny enough, when I wake up, without fail, where am I? I'm on my back. So I start off asleep, okay, on my side. And it's not necessarily the best for you, but hey, go for it. If anyone, and this is not me, but if anyone wanted a reason to sleep on their back, when you sleep on your side, and especially if you're face down, right? Some people like to be tummy sleepers. That's not good for your, cosmetically speaking, you're smushing your face, and so you're causing wrinkles and everything else to build up, so to speak. Anyway, I digress. I'm not at all about, you know, uh, I am vain, like I don't like wearing glasses, but nonetheless, uh, going back to sleep. Sleeping on your back is best, okay? Side sleepers like myself, we start off on our back. I'm sorry, on our side. And depending on, again, what type of sleeping apparatus you have, um, that's not the best, right? So you want to be um, careful about how go about staying on your side, right? They have pillows now for side sleepers. They have, all kinds of apparatuses. Use those if you so can, if you can, purchase them because they are worthwhile. The least optimal way to sleep is on our tummy. And again, I used to be a tummy sleeper. When I was little, I remember I used to be a tummy sleeper, and then I went to side. I've never been one to just stay on my back, or start on my back, right? But tummy sleeping, unfortunately, is not the best, and that's because you're putting a lot of pressure, not just on technically your heart, okay, but obviously your ribs, right, are they encage, right? It's like a corset, so your ribs encage. Um, Protect all of your organs. 60% of your organs are in your core, okay, which makes up all of this, right? Pretty much all your torso. And there's good reason for it, right? Again, protection. And they're smushed together. So when you're on your tummy, there's a lot of pressure that's going on. Now, again, uh, for anyone who is pregnant, there ain't no way you're going to be on your tummy for very long, right? But for anyone, okay, who is not pregnant, being on your tummy, so it's interesting because sometimes I've like, especially funny enough, before I go to bed, okay, before I'm ready to retire for the evening, I may lay on my sleeping apparatus, and I might be on my tummy because I'm just kind of like thinking, or like I just want to rest for a little bit without going to bed, right? Again, because I know that as soon as I put my head back, I'm going to start getting sleepy. But let's just say, maybe for whatever reason, right, I want to be on my tummy. It's comfy, but after a little while, I'm like, okay, I just know that there's a lot more pressure. Whereas when you're on your back, right, there's a levity there. Now, again, um, everyone's different. Everyone's going to have different sensations. And just remember that science does back up what the ancient wisdoms of the different, civilizations knew inherently. Sleeping on your back is best. Okay. So I am not one to tell you to go buy stuff, but there is a lot of cool sleep gear that has come about to help people. Now, again, people in the Asian persuasion sides of the, you know, world already knew this, as well, I'm sure, as other ancient societies. But sleeping on your back is best, okay? And with your, think about, I teach yoga, so think about corpse pose, okay? Shavasana. You are literally laying on the ground. Your palms are facing up, so your hands are away from your arms are away from your body, and then your legs are nice and relaxed, so the feet may splay out. That's that is quite literally how we should be asleep. And in that position, it may not actually be comfortable for some people. So, like in restorative yoga practices, we have bolsters and we have different ways to prop people up with props so that they are supported. Okay. Well, you can find, whether it be yoga props or just like literally, there's whole pillows that protect your upper body so that you can't move, quite literally, but you are stationary in that position. And so there's no pressure points, okay? Because your arms are a little elevated on the pillow, your back, obviously, so everything about you is now in a nice, ele not truly elevated, but just in a cushy position. Think about getting something like that. Again, I'm not one to buy much when it comes to external, right, support, but whatever is going to help you to sleep on your back more often, try it. I will give you this last point. I was having trouble with my arm and from my shoulder down to my elbow a few years back, and it was pretty scary. It might have been like 2 years ago. And I went searching on YouTube and found a really cool orthopedic doctor, I believe she is, and she had some really good, you know, um, therapy type, exercises. And she also said to sleep, one, on your back, but to have a pillow underneath my arm so that it was always level, right? No pressure. Because of that, again, I was forced to lay on my back and I couldn't really move. But I would tell you, it eliminated the pain for sure. And I still was able to sleep. Now, again, I was very motivated because I didn't want pain. Okay. But again, I'm usually a side sleeper. And so knowing that I could not go to either side, I was forced to sleep right on my back. I realized it's not such a difficult task. So give yourself grace, right? Try it out. If you get to buy props to try it out, try it out. But give yourself the time, okay, to adjust. And then realize again, hello, I'm still a side sleeper. But we realize that you change your sleeping position at minimum, right? Like between 4 and at least 5 times because, wait, the average is 7. So on average, you have moved your body in some way, shape, or form during your sleep. You just don't know it, right? So again, it's all just like a uh, trial and error type of situation, research and development. Give yourself grace and know that, again, whenever possible, just practice laying on your back and realize how very grounding it truly is. And you might at least appreciate it even during your waking hours, even if you don't necessarily love it during the sleep time. So, with that, just wanted to let you all know that, and we will then see you in the next video. Take care, take charge.